Hi, welcome to Madeline's Life Management. Today I'm going to be talking about weight loss and tracking slash visuals. First off, when you are tracking your weight, you want to take the average. So some people do the average of a week. So you weigh yourself every day, but then you take the average of all of those and that is your weight for that week. Our weight fluctuates so much. I mean, mine fluctuates between 3 and 5 pounds kind of daily, depending on how much water I'm intaking and if I'm on my period or not. And also if I work out, all of a sudden I drop 5 pounds and I'm like, but I didn't really, it was just water weight. And I do think that tracking is great if you need to lose weight fast or you need to stick to a diet. I know before my wedding, I wanted to look great and feel really confident, and I loved how I looked in like all my wedding pictures and stuff, and that was kind of the goal because my photographer doesn't edit her photos. I tracked all my calories, I tracked all my exercise, I tracked all my liquid intake, like how much water I was drinking, how much coffee I was drinking, how much tea I was drinking, tracked like the amount of sleep I was getting at night, and just kind of everything. I tracked everything and weight every single day, and then of course I take the average. But that is great because it keeps you accountable and your goal is always in your mind. And this is why I do not suggest this for maintaining, or if you're kind of just like, oh yeah, I'd like to lose a little weight here and there. Like I am not tracking calories or anything right now, because when you are, well, it's scientifically proven that you intake less calories when you are tracking. And that is because, you know, and I kind of came up with 3 hypotheses. You know, either you're just more aware of the calories that you're ingesting. Possibly, you know, sometimes we eat without thinking, but if you're you don't really have that option if you are keeping track of it, because you have to measure it, you know, kind of figure out portion size. And also I think that sometimes I'm just too lazy to write it down. So I'm like, oh, I could eat this, but I'd have to measure it. I'd have to figure out, you know, and then I'd have to find my book and I'd have to write it down, blah, blah, blah. Or I'd have to like look it up in my fitness pal. So it's scientifically proven that you will intake less. So tracking your calories is really great if you're serious about losing weight. And you, like, sometimes you want to lose weight, but you kind of give yourself like a buffer, like you're not too serious about it. There are more things going on. You know, you're going to go out to dinner and not think about calories. You're going to, you know, you have certain circumstances that you're like throwing caution to the wind. So my next tip is a really fun one. This is to take pictures. So on the first day, on day 1, or maybe when you're your largest, when you are at that point, take a picture of yourself, like mark where your feet are going to be when you take that picture. So I'll like mark like where my feet stay, like where my toes go. And so I'm in the exact same position, and then hold your camera in the exact same position and take a picture. And it's amazing. You know, you see your progress every day slowly. And so it's incredible when you compare the difference of, let's say like 3 real pounds, like not like water pounds, the difference in like 3 weeks, and you just, it's so motivating. It's so motivating to see your progress, and then you're like, oh, okay, I can do this, I can do this. But also another thing with pictures is to not compare yourself to Victoria's Secret models. Don't compare yourself to those, compare yourself to yourself. So if you scroll through Facebook and you were your perfect weight at one point in time, use that as motivation, because you know your body can get to that point. Don't use a Victoria's Secret model as inspiration, because you will just be discouraged. You'll reach your goal weight and you'll be like, wait, why don't I have those incredible cheekbones and luscious hair and flawless skin, and you know, why am I not 6'2"? So just compare yourself to yourself, because it's realistic and you know what you can look like. Okay, y'all, so now I'm going to be sharing something that I actually did. And these are 3 different visuals that you can have for the pounds you're losing. And don't do this per day. Do this on like the weekly basis if you're consistent, because sometimes if you're not consistent, it does kind of go like this. But when you're consistent, I know one thing that actually I didn't do this one, but I had a friend that did, is she had 2 jars and she had it like filled with like these like pretty rock things, and it was like pounds to lose and then pounds lost, and she just like went like this, and it was a good visual for her. But something I did was I took, because it was just more final to me if I took a strip of paper and I labeled the pounds that I had to lose. I had let's see, 15 at the point that I was at one point that I was like, I just need to get back to what I was so I can fit into my jeans. And every time I like officially lost a pound, like the next week it was less, I would cut it off. And so I'd see it slowly going back. And another thing I did that is kind of funny, but it was in the same position, and I took a picture of me in the beginning like this, and me how I was when I bought the clothes that I have like this, and I put that person over the other person, and I drew the increments, and every time I lost a pound, I'd cut off the fat from around my old picture. And I know that sounds so weird, but it was so motivating for me because I was so unhealthy, guys. I was so unhealthy. And then it was like cutting off, and like I was making good choices, healthy choices, and so I could get back to my original, self, and who could walk up a flight of stairs. So anyway, yeah, so that is all on my weight loss visuals and kind of inspiration, motivation stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.